Hey, thanks for checking out the video. If you all like it, please like and subscribe, and hope you all enjoy it. Have a great rest of the day.
All right. So on a trek, or even just reenacting, or even if you're out camping in the woods, knowing how to make a fire using several methods is always important. Here in the 18th century, they had a few methods they could use as well. Modern day we have lighters, we have ferro rods and steel, we have magnesium blocks. Back then, they had flint and steel. This is what they would create sparks with. Another method is a magnifying glass. Just a piece of glass. You could hold it up to the sun, concentrate a bit of the sunlight on whatever tinder you're using, and get a fire. As you'd see, it's not a sunny day today. Can't use it. And the third method is, if you're not too good with flint and steel, you can actually use the flint and the prison of your gun. If you would just put a little bit of, just a couple sprinkles of gunpowder and a little bit of whatever tinder you're wanting in there, plug up your touch hole with a little bit of tallow, if you've got a load in there, and you can get a spark going that way. But today, I'll show you how to use flint and steel. First of all, to get a fire going, you're going to want some sort of good tinder material. Right here we've got tow. Lights up really easily and also catches a spark. You could also take a piece of rope and flare it out, or a mouse nest works really well. Another thing we have is tinder fungus. You can use this a couple ways. If you're using the sunlight method, you can concentrate a dot and it'll smolder and burn for a long time so you can get a fire going. Or you could grind it up, use the grounds from that, get a spark into it. What I like to do is just take a small chunk and put it into my tinder bundle, so that way if my spark does go out, I've still got something to go off of. And here's what I also like to use is char cloth. They use char cloth by taking cloth, charring it in a tin without letting it burn. Catches a spark very easily. Or, more commonly, they would probably use charred punk wood. Just rotten wood, charred, and catches a spark just the same. But when using flint and steel, you're going to take your steel, hold it in one hand, your flint in the other, and you're going to find a nice 90-degree angle on the flint. As you can see there, I've got a nice edge. I'm going to hold it, and I get sparks that way. I've already got a spark into my char cloth. So as it's going there, I'll take a little piece of tinder fungus. Blow on it. Now I've got tinder fungus in it and my char cloth. I'll take this here, blow air into it. Make sure you already have your tinder nearby, because once this goes up, it'll go up fast. There we go. We can get some of these little sticks lit. I like a TP method. That's what works best for me. It seems to stay lit easiest. You gotta be quick with this. If you're not quick enough, your fire will go out. And you gotta start all over. And sometimes, depending on what you have, you only got one chance. Tinder. Now we're slowly building it up. Starting a fire with flint and steel or any 18th century method, you've got to go really small. Lighter in the modern day and age, you could start with something maybe this thick and get it to work. Not so with tinder. We had to start with something smaller than this to even get it going. But as you can see, it's slowly starting to build.
So, question, how accessible was flint and other fire making materials and tools?
So, almost everybody had access to some sort of fire making material. Everybody needed to know how to make a fire, even if you were in the city, so you could warm your home. But something such as flint and steel, you could go out and find the flint if you knew where to look. Might take a little working, but you could find it. And in regards to the steel, you could get something like the one I have, made by a blacksmith. You could get something much more ornate, or you could find something such as you could use the back of your hatchet, and that would work just as well. It just depends on how skilled you are and how much you want to pay. So, as it nears lunchtime, fire is really nice, but what we had going was just fire for heat. Had the nice teepee set up, really easy to start. But if I wanted to boil a pot of water or get a nice bit of ashes, it's a little more difficult to go. So what I did was I took my larger logs and I rearranged them in a square position. This allows them to burn as I have stuff in the middle. But this here also lets me take a pot of water or whatever I'm trying to cook and set it in the center here and have some sort of stability. Even for a fire for heat, we don't want to use soft woods such as pine or cedar. It causes a sticky, oily smoke that'll get on your stuff, burns up way too fast. What you really want is hardwoods. This here allows you to use your fire as a cooking fire if needed, but it also just burns a lot longer and a lot hotter.